This is Hartington, one of the prettiest villages in the Peak District, and we're here to continue our Ethel challenge with Cardelow and Pilsbury Hill. Afterwards we will return to Hartington and Beresford tea rooms for a well-earned coffee and cake. Parsonsfield car park is probably the most convenient place to park, and we made our way out of the village on Woolpit Lane. There are alternative routes, but this fared best for us today. Given the recent rains, it made for a more direct approach to today's hills. The cloud base was very low, so some basic navigation skills were needed to find each summit, but we easily spotted these sheep. This sign marks the public footpath up to Cardelow, but you need to ensure you keep to it, as it's private land between the road and the open access land for this hill. The path winds its way up between several disused mine shafts before meeting a higher footpath that runs to this dry stone wall and stile. We just needed to cross over it to start the climb up to Cardelow. It was old and a little wobbly, but I was over safely. Neil too, as he avoided the loose step. Now we were at the foot of Cardelow, and we just needed to make our way straight up the hillside. I kept checking for the views, but sadly it looked like we were about to climb into the cloud and lose them completely. Crossing this broken wall, the way became more stony, but nothing too tricky, we just needed to keep heading upwards. Cardelow stands at 380 metres and has a prominence of 58. It's also got a drop of at least 30 on all sides, making it a tunnel. It's only a short climb, so even with us having to ascend into the cloud, the summit soon came into sight. And even in this poor visibility, the rocks that mark the summit came clearly into view. As you saw on the way up, the White Peak is famous for its rolling dales, grassland and exposed limestone, and this mound of mossy limestone rocks is the summit of Cardelow, the first of the day, and Ethel 8 out of 95 for the year. Cardelow is thought to be the location of a prehistoric burial site, with archaeological finds pointing to human activity dating back thousands of years. Due to its limestone geology, this hill is also home to some unique flora, including rare orchids, although today was the wrong time of year to spot them. In crossing over to Pilsbury Hill, we were teased with a very brief view of the summit, which disappeared into the cloud almost as soon as we'd seen it. This signpost marked the lowest part of the descent from Cardelow and the start of the ascent to Pilsbury Hill, which at 395 metres would be the highest we'd climbed today. But once we'd reached the road, the steepest part of the ascent had been done, and climbing over this stile, we were once again on open access land and just needed to follow the wall up to the summit cairn of this Ethel. Like Cardelow, Pilsbury Hill is grassy with exposed limestone rocks, and is also the site of a Norman castle. The castle itself lies below the hill to the west, which on a clear day would have been visible from the summit. Sadly, no luck with the cloud clearing, so there would be no views today. But it would be worth coming back to revisit the summit and explore what's left of the castle on another day. The castle was originally built after the Norman conquest, and although no exact date of build is known, it is known to have been abandoned by the end of the 12th century. Today, just the earthworks remain of what was this Motte and Bailey castle. But it is thought that the summit was also the site of a much earlier Iron Age fortification. which, although the hamlet of Pilsbury has dwindled to but a few dwellings today, it would seem that in the past it was a place of significant importance. So reaching this summit, long gone memories echoed eerily and marked our second Ethel of the day, a 9 out of 95 for the year. Descending back to the road was straightforward, just needed to head off in the right direction and pick up that wall again. So 2 Ethels done, and a plan to climb Wolfscote Hill next. As we stepped onto the road, we decided that it would be quickest way back, and we were glad that we did. As moments later we chanced to cross this field full of snowdrops, which, having spent all morning in the clouds, was a truly magnificent sight. Back at Hartington, we stopped at the Beresford tea rooms for a most welcome coffee and cake. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful and informative. If it was, please like and subscribe and look out for our next one. But for now, and most of all, I wish you all happy hiking.